Maurice and welcome to Invest. We're talking about investing, finance, professional development. For today's video, Ethereum only. The investment topic today will be Ethereum ticker ETH. First, just want to say happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope you have a great week so far. With respect to Ethereum, as I'm recording around 9:33 a.m. Eastern time on this morning, it's currently trading around like the $2,126. It's up about 0.05% right now. And with respect to the subsequent pump that we've had in the last 2 days so far, mainly coming from on Monday, driven by the Jim Cramer news on his preferential treatments toward Ethereum versus Bitcoin, and subsequent to that with respect to the B-word summit that we'll be expecting going forward, that's going to be expected to debut about 1.5 weeks out from now. And also with respect to Cathie Wood on her application to the US SEC, the Security Exchange Commission, on the BTC, the Bitcoin ETF that's expected to debut in the market going forward. So obviously with these three consecutive positive catalysts, subsequently drove up the Ethereum price point to all the way to the $2,225 level yesterday, or I believe at one point we hit about the $2,250 level that we've identified previously in the technical analysis. It seems like as of today, right now, we are bouncing down back to the normalized level in a more of a neutral level at the next resistance zone, the $2,150 level. So we'll go through a technical analysis again to see how are we going to be shaking out the next couple of days ahead of the weekend affectation. And also with respect to the July 4th that's expected to happen on Sunday coming up if I look at the calendar accordingly. So that's something that's going to be a relatively large macro catalyst going forward to look out for. How are we going to be maneuvering through by dollar cost averaging accordingly? So stay tuned, stick around, and let's make some money. Alright, so moving on to the technical analysis for Ethereum ticker ETH. I'm recording as of 9:43 a.m. Eastern time right now, and Ethereum is currently trading around like the $2,130 level, up about 0.22%. So we're kind of just like leveling off from the normalization that we've had yesterday, hitting all the way to the $2,252 level. So what I see this the price for Ethereum going forward in the near term, let's take a look at the equity market real quick to see how it anti-correlates real quick. So you can see that with respect to the SPY right now, we are leaping up on the RSI perspective. So we have a higher propensity of being oversold at the moment. However, with respect to the MACD right now, you can see we have crossed. So I do see a little bit more bullish momentum going forward. So on SPY, we definitely are, have a more propensity to leap up even further despite the whole rally that we've had so far, ever since the basically March 24th, which was basically the bottom of the correction that we've had in the equity market perspective. Now, with respect to Nasdaq, we can see that comparable to SPY, we have been leaping up, in a more of a relative rally ever since May 17th. I would say, the race, basically comparable to the SPY happens sometimes around like the mid-March time period. However, it's a little bit more fluctuating, obviously driven by a lot of the sector rotations as well. That also has to be in the play of the element adjustments. So with respect to how I see that the Nasdaq going forward, we are pretty much highly overbought at the moment right now. We are stretched up relatively wide right now. So I do see some sort of a correction coming on the Nasdaq perspective. So definitely watch out if you are one of the equity holder in Nasdaq or buying options or put on the Nasdaq front as well. So let's take a look at the Ethereum right now. I think overall on the equity market perspective is definitely leaning more of a positive spectrum, which will have a negative correlations to the anti-correlation effects towards cryptocurrencies, right? And I think that's the reason why Bitcoin, with respect to the pump that we've had yesterday on the Bitcoin ETF news from Cathie Wood, and also subsequently drive up the price for Bitcoin respectively, and also Ethereum has some has some direct correlation effect onto Ethereum price point as well. And what I see the price for Ethereum going forward is that I think the current level right now is a relatively substantive level that we've tested prior, right? The $2,150 level is this very strong substantive consolidation zone that we've tested prior, right? You can see that how we're matching with basically how we form on 21st, on 20th, and we also had that on 19th and 18th at the same time. I look at that historically even further back out. You can see that we also tested back in the day on May 24th, May 23rd, May 22nd, and then May 21st, and then all the way back to basically durations from, let's take a look how long the duration was. Basically April 2nd all the way to April 25th. So basically like a 2.5, I think approximately like 2 months in combination of durations of this level of hovering, right? So I think $2,150 level is definitely a great level to dollar cost average right now, right? Because of the subliminal anti-correlation effects that we've seen from the equity side. So it's driving some neutralization and normalization, obviously with the anti-correlation effect. But because of the fact that crypto has pumped up yesterday and consecutive already, it just needs some time to cool off, like I expected, right? I mentioned this to you guys in the previous video that with respect to RSI, we are highly leaning more of a propensity to be overbought right now, despite on a macro perspective to be more of a bullish trend going forward because of the summit that we're going to be anticipating going forward 1.5 weeks out, right? So on a macro level, high propensity to be to pump up. However, with respect to more of a micro or near-term perspective in a time frame spectrum, just the last couple of days, right? It just makes more sense to neutralize and cool down a little bit, right? Whatever goes up really, really fast comes down just as fast, right? But with respect to the momentum on the macro, it's more propensity to, to a surge going forward that the normalization needs to take place to, provide a little bit more substance as a support for us to pump up even further, right? It doesn't just go up in one straight line. It needs to go through a consolidation, hover around and stay around that level and then keep going up, right? So that's where I see it going forward right now. If you were to buy in today, I wouldn't mind it actually. I think that's a great level to dollar cost average. $2,150 level has always been a great level to buy it, right? And with respect to, are we going to be seeing like the $2,000 level? I think the likelihood would be relatively high, but I don't expect that to be occurring like extremely soon, like not tomorrow. I think by Friday and Saturday, we might see some red pressure because of the fact that it's the weekend affectation. Like Friday, Saturday is typically red days, in the crypto market, and because it's the safe haven effect, right? People want to secure the profits ahead of the weekend. However, the weekend that we've had is going to be a little bit long durated because of Sunday. Sunday is July 4th in the US market, so it's a holiday as well, and it's also laced on a Sunday. So that could be another macro effect, driving a little bit more selling pressure. But do I foresee, a 3 consecutive days of selling pressure this time? I think no, but we will see a little bit of selling pressure, right? So how do you risk mitigate, right? Because, I don't expect there's going to be 3 consecutive sell days, but I do foresee at least 2 sell days out of the 3. And I think the correlation effect should be quite comparable just based on how historically has been trending, right? I think we should be seeing some red pressure on Friday and then some Saturday. And the normalization should be coming back soon, sometimes around late Saturday. And we should have some sort of a rebound coming on Sunday, right? But because of the fact that Sunday is a holiday, people might have another affectation on to securing their profit again. But likelihood of doing that 3 consecutively would be unlikely. Just think about that logically in a psychological perspective. You are an investor. You want to secure profits. I think you would just probably do it by Friday, by Saturday, and then you kind of forget about it by Sunday, right? And typically people buy on Sunday. And remember the fact that this is just a U.S. affectation, not the global affectation, right? July 4th only occurs in the U.S. market, right? That doesn't affect China, doesn't affect Spain, doesn't affect other countries. So that's something we have to be mindful of. So I do foresee again a comparable historical trends: sell day Friday, sell day Saturday, Sunday rebound from there. However, for us, we are in the business of risk mitigation. So how do we maneuver this risk profile that we're going to be experiencing going forward? I think today would be a good level to buy, right? And the next level of resistance would be the $2,015, right? Which I might see by Friday, late Thursday or early Friday. And then subsequent to that, we might see, as the next level of bounce off would be somewhere around like the 1959 to be more 1962 would be a more specific level as the next secondary resistance level that we might get to by Saturday, depending on how severe is this sell-off and how it anti-correlates ahead of time. Because the equity market has also another play in the elements of how we calculate the adjustments going forward, right? So we have to watch out for it. I do see a green day today, so today we might actually go down to the 2000. 100 or 2000, or we might just consolidate around here because of just how the dynamics of the equity market looks like at the moment right now. So hopefully this is helpful in terms of how you execute your risk averse price execution going forward. All right, just to recap all the numbers in the technical analysis, again, right, the $2,150 is the current level that we're sitting at right now. And this is a level that I've mentioned to you guys previously in the last 3 videos so far, that this is a substantive level that we've consolidated at least 16 times historically now, and I counted actually 16 times historically. So it's a good level to buy for a long-term value proposition. And with respect to the $2,050, I think we could potentially get there sometimes around Friday and Saturday because of the weekend affectation. That's something that we know and expect based on historical trends. Do we see 1950? I think the likelihood in the near term will be no, but it really ultimately depends on the equity market, how it anti-correlates, and with the propensity of leaning more towards the selling pressure by the end of this week, and also the weekend affectation and how that's going to subsequently consolidate and bake that into the price level. But 1950, that's a likelihood that we could potentially get there. But I think the likelihood would be, I give this maybe 30% likelihood of getting there. So that's a level to watch out for if you want to be more risk mitigated, right? With respect to corporate adoption, 20%, $9,800, 4.6 times your money if you buy the 2,150. So that's it for today. Respect my technical analysis on Ethereum ticker ETH. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of the Wednesday and the rest of the week as well. You're probably going to see me again tomorrow to give you more of a daily update onto the market dynamics as well. But feel free to ask me any questions if you have any questions. Again, I don't really have any WhatsApp or Twitter or Instagram page at the moment, so I know that I've been getting some spam messages across the board. So I've actually reported to YouTube to close those fake accounts that I'm currently experiencing right now. I don't know if I should feel complimented or should I be feel angry about it. I don't have a really I'm kind of mixed feeling about this, but really appreciate for you guys for watching out and looking out for me. And yeah, so stay tuned for the next video coming up. Take care. Bye.